as we begin, we update a story that was disturbing, and we told you about it on Friday. Michael McCutcheon of Palm Desert was arrested by sheriff's deputies on charges of animal cruelty and released on bond. Call him troubled, call him misguided, call him psychotic. McCutcheon, driving a golf cart, chased two geese on the fifth hole at Chaparral Country Club. He clipped one of them. Then he took out a golf club and he beat it. He took it to the dumpster and he threw it in. It was still alive. The next morning, someone came in, saw it, and called animal services. They came out, put it out of misery, and euthanized it. We didn't know who it was on Friday. Now we do. It is Michael McCutcheon. Betsy Patterson, who lives at Chaparral, joins the program live now. Betsy, thank you for being here.
No problem.
Okay, you know who it is. What do you think?
Well, I don't know this person personally. Thank you. I understand he's a new resident or a fairly new resident. I think what I thought from the very beginning when I first heard this story last week, that it is really unconscionable that somebody could do this to an animal. This level of malicious intent and cruelty is really, it's beyond my comprehension.
I know everybody was trying to figure out who it was. We found out this afternoon after we talked to the sheriff's department. What has been the talk around the club? People that didn't know who it was, but just about the incident.
I think that your reporting tonight will be the news that breaks and people start to find out. I don't know that a lot of people know. I understand that you found this out just today, and I've not been out and about and spoken with people, but I'm sure tomorrow will, the dawn of the new day will bring a lot of awareness, which should have been from the very beginning about this person and what they have done within our community.
So the sheriff arrested him and he posted bond, but here now he lives in the community, and a country club community, family, friends, everybody's very close. And I know everybody there is really upset by what has happened. But what is it people would want done? Because I don't believe the HOA can call him up and say, you're selling your unit. I don't think that can happen. So what is it people want?
I don't think that can happen either. But I think what people want is what anyone wants when you commit a crime, is that charges are brought, that somebody then has to spend money and go defend themselves within a court of law. From a secondary standpoint, I think the HOA should vote to fine this person to the the largest fine that they can levy for something like this against somebody. And then the country clubs should certainly revoke their golf club membership, and they should be banned from the club. You should have to be on some level of good behavior in a civilized society to be able to participate in the place you have chosen to live.
All right. I appreciate you coming on live with us tonight. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
All right. I might add that I spoke. I did not speak. I called Michael McCutcheon 3 times, and one ring, and that's it. I did leave him a text, said we were going to talk about the story tonight. We invited him to come on and talk about why he did what he did, and I have not heard back from him. Our contributors on the program, Jill Marie Plaza and Tammy Bleck. If that was your neighbor, Tammy, what would you do? One ring, and that's it. I did leave him a text, said we were going to... Okay, there is a delay going to Tammy. So let's try it one more time. Tammy, can you hear me? All right, we're going to get that technicality fixed, and we will get them back on. Here's the bottom line. The HOA really can do nothing here. I mean, they can fine him, but aside from that, and put yourself in the position of living in a situation like that, what exactly could you do? I mean, obviously you wouldn't be pleased if your neighbor did that. And by the way, Michael McCutcheon does have the right to explain what he did, and he can explain why he did it. But, when you hear a story like this and you look at it, you think to yourself, what really could the explanation be? All right, is Tammy back now? Can we try her one more time? And if she is, Tammy, you got me now? Okay, Jill, you have me?
Yes.
Okay.
I cannot hear you.
Okay, we'll get you fixed. Jill, what would you do if that was your neighbor?
In all honesty, I'd probably have a very hard time being neighborly. That doesn't fit with your be a good neighbor policy. but probably a lot of exercise of caution. Obviously, this is somebody that has issues and just not sure what those stem for and why that would need to be taken out on an animal. It just is very alarming.
You know, until we talk to Michael, we don't know. It could be an anger issue. It could be something else. But again, it's hard to justify, really, that action. And we will stay on top of it. So there has been an idea on the table. Instead of sending police officers out to handle domestic disputes, mental health emergencies, substance abuse issues, and homelessness, cities have been sending out mental health workers, therapists, to try and de-escalate the situation. Now it is being tried in Palm Springs. Palm Springs PD and Riverside University Health System have partnered to create a new community behavioral assessment team designed to respond to mental health crisis in the community. On paper, a good idea. In practical application, is it? Okay, let's bring back the contributors. Can Tammy hear me now? Tammy, you back?
I can hear you now.
Okay, I get this, but those can be dangerous situations. Wouldn't you just rather have the police there?
I'm not sure are we off the goose?
We're off the goose, and now we're on to topic 2.
Okay. All right. You know, I'm thinking a combination of both. Is that possible? I mean, one police officer and one or two police officers and one counselor that does that for Lynn, because I really think it's a good idea because one is equipped to do something the other is not.
What do you think, Jill?
You know, I kind of agree with Tammy. I like the idea of having two people, one that's armed that knows how to handle something if it becomes physical. But I really like the mental health perspective of just taking it down. There's probably instances where you don't need an officer, and that makes it more cost effective and more humane.
See, here's the thing. When you say you don't need an officer, and truth be told, I come from a law enforcement family. My in-laws were LAPD. So I have a little different viewpoint on this. And I just think it's really dangerous sending somebody into a situation like that, trained mental health professional or not, that cannot de-escalate a situation and, if necessary, use some force to do so. I personally think, and I'm not a pro at this, but I think you're putting somebody in danger here. Jill?
You could. I'm not going to say that that's wrong, but I also know that many people that are in the mental health field are highly trained. And one of the key things that they're trained at is de-escalation. It's very skilled, it's very precise, and it can work.
Tammy, if you were handling this approach, if you were in charge of it, how would you handle it?
I would assign teams, and I would definitely have a mental health person that could go out in the field if need be, and I would put them on staff, and I would probably have more than one. I mean, it's a wonderful service if they can work in tandem, because you're right, it is a very dangerous thing, and a health official is not going to be able to handle a gun or an instance that would require one, and vice versa.
All right.